So lads, today we watched the Connecticut Sun versus the Indiana Fever, and obviously it's a game that was kind of like taken over almost by other things. Like, I've got so many other videos that I'm recording today. So look, I don't think it's any secret that I'm not a fan of the Indiana Fever backroom staff. I'm not a fan of what they're trying to do to Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark talking to the referees breakdown, Leah Boston, but that's for tomorrow. All those type of videos are for tomorrow. Today we're going to talk purely about the basketball part of it. They're trying to dim the flame of Caitlin, and they're trying to make her fit in to what the WNBA used to be, rather than fit out and be her. I mean that. Like, that is my opinion, and it's no...
Why would a coach interrupt Caitlin Clark's epic celebration in the middle of a big game? The shocking footage has fans everywhere talking. Was this about control, jealousy, or something deeper within the team's culture? Stay tuned, because we're diving into the heated debate surrounding the Indiana Fever and their handling of one of the WNBA's brightest stars. Imagine this. Caitlin Clark drains a dagger three, the crowd erupts, and she lets her emotions fly. She turns to the bench, pumps her fist, and shouts something that can't be repeated on TV. Fans watching were living for it, until assistant coach Karima Christmas Kelly suddenly walked over, leaned in, and cut the moment short. Videos of the exchange flooded social media almost instantly. Clark's excitement faded as she walked back onto the court. Expression neutral, but the internet wasn't about to let it slide. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. For many, this wasn't just a random moment. It felt like a breaking point, proof of what fans have been whispering for months. Caitlin Clark, arguably one of the most electrifying players in the WNBA right now, doesn't fully fit into what the Indiana Fever seems to want from their team identity.
We're going to be talking about the basketball. We're going to be talking about what exactly the Connecticut Sun did initially to slow down Caitlin Clark, and whether or not their tactics worked, or whether a lot of it was just Caitlin Clark being poor. I think they're good defensive, but like, this clip getting shown again, and it's just, in my opinion, is completely unacceptable. It is completely unacceptable. Like, if a coach did this to any other player in the league, they'd be fired. I think it was a bit of both. And either way, what they did not work in the fourth quarter. And I feel like Stephanie White made a really good call. I think she made a really, really good call calling a timeout when Layla Lacan hacked Caitlin Clark. From this moment on, the emotion was gone from Caitlin. Let's be real, that was right before the Valkyries game. The Valkyries game that realistically just kind of broke her.
Clark's explosive energy, both in her gameplay and her celebrations, has drawn comparisons to some of the league's greatest stars. But if you've been following the Fever closely, you've probably noticed a different vibe. Quieter, more conservative, and far less tolerant of spontaneous emotion. Take Clark's rookie debut, for example. Her creativity on the court and fiery celebrations created highlight after highlight and sold out Fever merchandise almost overnight. Even the team's valuation skyrocketed, jumping from $90 million to $340 million, thanks largely to her appeal. But fans were quick to point out the seemingly limited playing time she received in key moments. And then there are the quieter hints, like coach-directed practices that keep Clark in check, or comments in press conferences about focusing on team cohesion. This latest celebration incident has put the contrast on full display. One of the WNBA's fastest rising stars is bringing a new audience to the game, but some say the Fever's leadership is more concerned about maintaining control than amplifying her strengths. Teams like the Las Vegas Aces, known for leaning into Aja Wilson's charisma, show how embracing star power can elevate not just individual players, but the organization as a whole. Could the Fever's conservative culture be holding Clark back from taking her rightful place among these stars? Stick around, because this goes deeper than just one game. Caitlin Clark is changing the game, but what happens when a team tries to control the brightest light in the league? That celebration incident isn't a one-time thing.
This was what the tactic was early on, and it was full court pressing Caitlin Clark with 3 different defenders. They put JC Sheldon, Layla Lacan, and Sanaya Rivers all full court pressing JC Sheldon. The referees are threatening a tech for hyping up the crowd. Go take your tech. This is sports. This is sports. You take a tech. I don't care. We treat this sport like it's men's sport. And I mean this. We talk about basketball like it's basketball. Caitlin Clark had the most success on Sheldon. Caitlin Clark had 4 assists in the first quarter on Sheldon. There was nothing really that Sheldon could do. You don't have to like Caitlin Clark. You don't even have to like Caitlin Clark did this. But this is Caitlin Clark. This is Caitlin at her best when she is relentless. When she is relentless, when she's getting the crowd involved.
It's part of a bigger trend that has fans worried. Micromanagement is the word being thrown around, whether it's limiting her playing time, keeping her fiery personality under wraps, or moments like assistant coach Karima Christmas Kelly stopping her mid-cheer. It's the kind of behavior that makes you wonder if the Fever is struggling to figure out how to handle a player like Caitlin Clark. Fans first started questioning the team's direction after former coach Dana Bonner's departure. Since then, it feels like the focus has shifted. People have noticed how Clark's minutes are carefully managed in game situations, even during moments where she could have helped the team clinch crucial wins. Add to that the buzz about ball distribution issues, including that now viral clip of Clark tying her shoe mid-play because she knew Natasha Howard wouldn't pass her the ball. That's not just awkward, it's a sign of something going on inside the organization. But the issue runs deeper than what happens on the court. With Clark responsible for 26.5% of all economic activity in the WNBA as a rookie and Fever merchandise sales jumping 234%, she's a billion-dollar athlete in the making. So why is the team not leaning into everything that makes her a star?
She was getting assists. She had 4 assists, in the first 3.5 minutes on JC Sheldon. And Caitlin only ended the game with 7 assists. And obviously, Caitlin was plus 21. She said it against like the Liberty. She said after the game, she's like, oh, I want to get the crowd involved. I want to do this, want to do that. Like, that's kind of what her goal is. She's like, that's when I'm at my best. And she keeps getting asked interview questions about it. It's like, oh, they're trying to get you to do this. They're trying to get you to do this to stop Caitlin. They blitzed her off every screen. They guarded her 94 feet. And I got to give credit to especially Layla Lacan. I think Layla Lacan did the best job on her. But they just hacked her. Caitlin literally goes, well, it's like, well, they're trying to my team are trying to stop me from doing this, but that's when I'm at my best. She's essentially said her coach doesn't want her to play her game. And it's very clear that the Indiana Fever don't want Caitlin to be Caitlin.
Interrupting those celebrations might seem small at first glance, but moments like that strike the core of what draws fans to her energy. If they box her in, it doesn't just affect her, it affects the entire team. Look at other great athletes in similar shoes. Generational talents often thrive when teams are built around them. Think Magic Johnson, LeBron James, or Steph Curry. Clark isn't just a player. She's the kind of star that changes franchises. Fans are asking if the Fever's fear of becoming the Caitlin Clark show is holding them back. And if her joy and confidence are chipped away, where does that leave the team or her? Could trying to suppress her shine cost the Fever everything? The celebration controversy might seem small, but it says a lot about how the Fever handles Caitlin Clark, a player who's already reshaping the WNBA. The team's valuation soared from $90 million to $340 million after just 40 games with Clark. That's the kind of impact she has, not just on the court, but off it. Yet instead of embracing her star power, the team seems focused on controlling her image. It's a risky move. What do you think? Can the Fever unlock Clark's full potential, or is her brightest future waiting somewhere else? Let us know in the comments.